Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, I do want to speak about Gavi and Pedri because it has been said that Barcelona's main priority right now is not to sign a brand new left winger or a new central defensive midfielder or a new center forward. Barcelona's main focus right now is to renew the contracts of Gavi and Pedri. Fabrizio Romano has basically confirmed the whole thing that Barcelona's top priority is to, yes, right, like he did state 2 weeks ago that Barcelona want to buy a new left winger for the next year. But before they even do that, they do want to secure the future of Gavi and Pedri, which makes the most sense because look, when you go look at Bayern Munich are not looking to sign a new player until they renew the contract of Musiala because they know that Musiala has shown that he can be a great player. He's young, he has a lot of talent, and they want to build the project around Musiala. It hurts as a Barcelona fan for me because I always thought that Musiala, if he were to ever go to Barcelona, it would be the most perfect signing on planet Earth because Musiala is somebody that I do put next to Pedri and Gavi and Lamine Yamal. But going back to Barcelona, right, Barcelona's main youngsters that they want to renew, just like how Bayern want to do with Musiala, it is Gavi and Pedri. And here's the thing, right? Hansi Flick met with Xavi Hernandez last month. I don't know if you guys remember, but there was this picture that they took together. It was not just a moment for them to like say hi and then bye within a span of like 2 minutes. Hansi Flick and Xavi Hernandez actually had conversations and long conversations. I think that Hansi Flick did go to Xavi Hernandez's house or something like that, or I could be wrong. Maybe they met at a restaurant, but yes, they spoke for a very long time. And I can guarantee you guys two things. When they were having those conversations, right, they spoke about two things. For sure, it had to be how Hansi Flick had to deal with the high line because Xavi Hernandez wanted to have a high line when he was at Barcelona. Let's remember what Barcelona did against Real Madrid in January this year, like 10 months ago. It was during the Spanish Super Cup where Barcelona were trying to do a high line with Koundé as a center back, but it was bad, right? We underperformed. We made so many mistakes. Real Madrid caught us with the high line. Xavi Hernandez could not get the high line correct, and we had to basically deal with the consequences on that. And I know that Hansi Flick was saying, hey, like, I understand that you were trying to do this. What do you think went wrong? And then Xavi Hernandez is like, okay, I did this, I did that. Maybe you can improve on this because maybe they're not focused, maybe they're not positioned correctly. Maybe you can do something like that. Maybe have more training sessions. I believe that Hansi Flick came in here and perfected the high line, which is why we see the high line not for the first time, but it is perfected for the first time at Barcelona within the past like 4 to 5 years, of course. And then they spoke about another thing, which is I believe is the most important. I believe that Xavi Hernandez told Hansi Flick, and he told him and he said, look, whatever you do, whether it's the high line or trying to grow Lamine Yamal or trying to get a more vertical style of play, you make sure that you focus on our midfielders because the most talented players that we have at Barcelona right now is our midfielders, and most importantly, Gavi and Pedri. Two players that have had enough time at Barcelona and have shown why they should be relied on to lead Barcelona for the next 5 to 6 years. I strongly believe Xavi Hernandez said this to Hansi Flick, and he said Gavi and Pedri are two players that you should be focusing on. And Xavi like never tried to hide it, right? In the past year, I remember Xavi Hernandez continued to say that Pedri is a phenomenal player, that he challenges Pedri to be more of a goal threat, to score more goals, provide more assists. He challenged Pedri to go for 10 goals and 10 assists back in the 2022-2023 season, or I think it was the 2023-2024 season. But either way though, Xavi Hernandez knew that if he wanted a dangerous Barcelona, he needed a dangerous group of central midfielders, and he saw that through Gavi and Pedri at that time, of course, because now we have Casado and we have Marc Bernal. And so Hansi Flick probably took that to heart and he said, okay, I will try my best. I'll find solutions. I'll try and see how we can get more goals from Pedri, have more of an effect with Gavi. And that is why today we see Pedri with more goals and more assists than ever before. We're going to be seeing the same thing with Gavi. We just need to have more time with Gavi because of his ACL injury, and he's currently still trying to get into the tempo, the groove of this whole Barcelona style of play. But overall, right, looking at the broader picture of this sports project, Hansi Flick's tenure at Barcelona has shown a significant focus on youth development for sure, and he integrates these youth players into the first team a lot. And this does give us like 5 really good key points, right? Point number 1, it's a continuation of Barcelona's philosophy by continuing to implement these youngsters like Marc Bernal, like Marc Casado. Gavi and Pedri is only scratching the surface. And point number 2, youth integration. We need more integration with the youth. We need to have more La Masia players come into the first team because you just never know when Barcelona might encounter another financial difficulty. Yes, Barcelona is they're on their way to becoming financially more secure, but it is always good to have that backup and to continue to use the youngsters that we do work on and have been working on over the past 10 years. Point number 3, it's long-term planning. The more we integrate these youth players like Casado, like Pedri, like Marc Bernal or Gavi, all of these youth players, right? And keep in mind, I'm not saying that Pedri is a La Masia player before you guys try to get at me in the comment sections. I know that Pedri came from a different team, Las Palmas, right? Like 4 to 5 years ago, but you get the point, right? Is to bet on the the youngsters because Pedri was relied on at the age of 17 years old. But it is long-term planning. Point number 4, it's cultural continuity, because this is what Barcelona is. This is the reason why Barcelona stands for more than a club, is because we give these youngsters opportunities to really blossom out there and make names for themselves. Pedri and Gavi are perfect examples of that. And then point number 5, it is the challenges and expectations. That is what people expect from FC Barcelona, and Barcelona is always able to come over those challenges. And I love the way that Hansi Flick has been able to say, hey, look, this is what is going to be expected from you, okay? Like, you're 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 years old. You're young, but people are going to be expecting you to perform at such a high level. Don't worry about that. Worry about just yourself. Don't even worry about the outside noise. Play your game. Like, yes, know the expectations, but at the same time, do not let those expectations like cripple you. And Hansi Flick has done a tremendous job on that with his Barcelona project. So let's have some fun, right? When we talk about Bernal, Pedri, Casado, and Gavi, 4 of our main group of central attacking midfielders, or I would say to form our double pivot, we're going to be categorizing 4 different double pivots. What is the most balanced double pivot? What is the most chaotic double pivot? What is the most goal-threatening double pivot? And what is the most experienced double pivot? If Hansi Flick ever wants to go for the most balanced double pivot, I would say Bernal and Pedri. And I say that because Bernal has the height, he has the capacity to intercept, he's defensively very aware, he's very well timed in everything that he does, he has very long legs to get through tackles. And then you have Pedri, the one who can get the ball right after Bernal and rotate the ball, circulation, the whole 9, right? Or switch the side of the play. That is the most balanced, which is Pedri and Bernal. If you wanted to ask what is the most chaotic double pivot, you guys already know. We can have Gavi and Casado. Gavi and Casado is like putting Mascherano and Arturo Vidal in the double pivot position at Barcelona. It would be just chaotic, pure defense, pure vibes, pure aggressiveness, pure warrior-like, gladiator-like type of football. And then we go to the most goal-threatening double pivot. I would say Casado and Pedri. And I say that because Casado, like I have said, going back to the most perfect example ever, Casado, when he makes those through passes to Lewandowski, it's finished for the opposition. It is finished. Casado has those capabilities to make the final pass or the key pass that leads towards goals. And there's the same thing with Pedri. Pedri has the exact same capability. There's a reason why after Dani Olmo, if he's not in the central attacking midfield position, it is Pedri who is playing there. So if you have Casado and Pedri in the double pivot position, you have more chances of scoring goals. And then going to the last one, if Hansi Flick ever wants to have the most experienced double pivot, 2 players who have had the most minutes at Barcelona, it is of course what we have started with, and that is Pedri and Gavi. And that is the reason why these 2 players are facing the renewal, because it is just so mandatory, and they have shown time and time again why they could be the pillars of this project. Like I have said earlier in this video, it is the Bayern and Musiala operation. It's huge news for all the Germans. The Bayern Munich fans are taking this with a lot of pride. They're very happy with what's going on. Musiala is going to be there until 2030 at the very least, and we have to do the exact same thing with Pedri and Gavi and extend these 2 players hopefully for another 5 to 6 years. That can take us until 2030 or 2031, maybe even further than that if that's even possible. Also, you guys may be asking, but Kevin, you don't think it's a little unfair? Maybe they should try and find the renewal for Casado and Bernal as well, even though they have just renewed with Barcelona like 4 to 5 months ago. Shouldn't they have more continuity past 2030? I would say that what separates Gavi and Pedri from Bernal and Casado right now is the fact that they have won the league already, right? They have titles under their name and they have wins under their name. Bernal and Casado have not gotten that yet. They have no titles with Barcelona yet. Yes, I understand that Casado and Bernal have shown such great levels for their age, but they haven't won anything yet. So of course, when you have Gavi and Pedri, you need to have those 2 players given the opportunity to renew and with greater wages, showing them more importance. And so yeah, I'm happy. When we speak about Gavi and Pedri, these 2 players took very different journeys on their way to the top. Gavi, we already know that back on October 20th, which was not too long ago, just made his return to competitive football for Barcelona's La Liga match against Sevilla. He did enter on the 83rd minute and Barcelona were already leading 4-0. It was an amazing time to see just Gavi return. All of us were very happy, and the reason why we're so happy is because he was out for a whole year. Like, Gavi was never a player that got injured like 3 to 4 times per season like Pedri. Gavi was somebody that was very consistent, but when he got that injury last year in 2023, it was just so frustrating, so annoying, so sad to see that he had to be out for 1 year. And I remember when Gavi came to the stadium, he received a standing ovation from the fans and everybody was applauding, even the teammates, because they were just so happy to see that Gavi is finally back. He even featured in the match after that, after Barcelona got the 2 wins between Bayern Munich and Real Madrid. He came back just in time, and it was exactly what we wanted to see, because in the past year we saw him go through recovery, rehabilitation, rehabilitation processes. He underwent surgery that lasted between like an hour and a half, and then he had to be on crutches for like 40 days post-operation. And then there was like some talks about a potential relapse. It was just a bunch of stresses. But then when he started passing balls back on late July 2024, he eventually joined the group training back on mid-September, and then everything was well from there. We all knew that Gavi was going to get the return very, very soon. As for Pedri was just another player that I would say is magical, right? He's amazing, and it took him a long time to get to this point, because let's keep in mind that, you know, before this talk about Pedri, right, he has encountered 2 to 3 injuries per season. Like it was getting very stressful. We did not even know if Pedri was ever going to be the same. We did not know if Pedri was ever going to overcome this hurdle, because it all started back in 2021 and 2022, where he got one hamstring injury and then he returned after 11 days and he missed 3 matches. But then came the 2021-2022 second hamstring injury, where he was out for 102 days and he missed 23 matches in total between the Spanish national team and FC Barcelona. And then he went through another injury, which was the exact same thing, a hamstring injury in the exact same season. He was out for 77 days, missed 13 matches. So that was 3 total injuries in the 2021-2022 season, and that is because he played so much. And then back on 2022-2023, he got a total of 2 injuries. One was a muscle injury, which was 13 days out, which was 64 days out, and another one was hamstring injury, where he was out for 46 days and he missed 6 matches. And then in the 2023-2024 season, which was Xavi Hernandez's last season managing FC Barcelona, he went through another 3 injuries. A hamstring injury that took him out for 71 days, 16 matches missed, and then a muscular problem that took him out for 23 days, 3 matches missed, and then a hamstring injury in the end that took him out for 34 days and 6 matches missed. Currently, as things do stand with Pedri, he did also encounter a injury in this season, which was the 2024-2025 season. He recently just came back, but he was out for 41 days. He only missed 2 matches with the Spanish national team, because the reason why is because the majority of the time that Pedri was injured was during the preseason and a little time before that. But overall, when it comes to like the competitive games and what Barcelona have done this season, Pedri has not been injured whatsoever, and that is because Hansi Flick has taken care of Pedri's minutes, and we don't really see Pedri go past the 65th minute at all anymore. He never really fully finishes a full match, and I believe that this is perfect. It is perfect. This could be another conversation that maybe Xavi Hernandez had with Hansi Flick, and he said, hey, look, Pedri's a special player. If you bet on him, he'll deliver you what you need, but you have to take very well care of him, because in the past few years I have made some mistakes. He cannot be overloaded. He cannot complete a full 90-minute match. Maybe there needs to be different ideas, different solutions to getting more consistency from Pedri, and I believe Hansi Flick has found the key to this. And so I do think that it is all upward from here in regards to Gavi and Pedri. And so that is it. That is going to be wrapping up today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.